Hello,
Hello.
we're back.
Yes. Today, with a new appearance.
Yes, they're not only as I think with the previous one we had. Do you have the wall?
Yes.
But
Which has now also been integrated into the thumbnail.
yes, but we now have a is it our first redesign?
Yes.
Yeah, our first redesign
I
of.
mean, is it a redesign if it's just a completely different character? Because a redesign is more like it's the same character but just new.
Well, you changed character basically.
Yes. Yes. Finally, because my profile picture has been different for a long ass time.
Yeah,
But I couldn't think of a good pose for this for a long time, so it took a little while.
but you figured it out anyway. So there's new character. There's a new character.
Yes.
Now we need to do is get Brodo's character changed into the image I sent you.
Now we're leaving him as he is.
So are we not gonna make him fancy? Does he not deserve good clothing?
I
I think
mean,
he I think he deserves
I
good
ba-
clothing.
I based it off his Minecraft skin. It's not my fault that his Minecraft skin has no like
No claws whatsoever.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like we have claws with our outfits.
Yes. Now we do. You did this whole time.
Yes.
You had the right instinct when we started this.
Yes. If it's an office and we're in a business oriented environment, having the proper attire actually helps. I should actually wear a blouse. I should actually in real life dress this nice more often because it actually gives a confidence boost. It's hard to explain, but having wearing nice clothing is a real boost.
How much do you think it would cost to get this costume custom made?
Depends if you want to do it yourself or not.
I don't know how to fucking do that. I don't think I would want it either because I think it would actually not be all that comfortable.
Yeah, having an actual experienced tailor make it means that not only are all the dimensions going to be right,
Well,
because I can
that's
guarantee you
not.
if you do it yourself, dimensions might be a bit off, meaning it won't be comfortable. And having someone with
Well,
actual experience do it.
even even if a tailor were to do it, I don't think it would be comfortable because of the way that I made the sort of what do you call it? I guess the vest. It's like closed with the like almost like a large panel kind of thing with the pattern on it, which I think would just I don't know if that would be comfortable.
It all depends on the materials.
Yeah, true.
If you can do those right, then you're basically just have they could still have decent comfort.
Yeah.
but it's entirely dependent on how you do it.
I don't know. Anyway, no, I updated my profile picture like a long while ago to do a different character that I made purely to be my profile picture. So now I am a Victorian inspired vampire. So don't I just realized something.
What?
People are gonna think I'm trans.
So?
Cause he has the ponytail and he has like that symbol on his chest with the like it's that's the symbol for Mercury. But it kind of looks like the female symbol, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wait, actually, now that I think about it, I think the female symbol in alchemy means copper, and the male one is iron. Hold on.
I still don't see the issue.
What?
I still don't see the issue. Actually, it would be really funny.
I guess. Let me see.
Like, you could just. People would think you're trans, when in reality, you are not. That you could teach. That you can continuously teach people a lesson about assuming.
Wait, what the fuck is this?
Because they you could show them that when you assume, you can really make an ass out of you and me. And if you're assuming, you can really make an ass out of you and Ming. And you don't want to annoy Ming. Yeah, also, I
Yeah,
did.
I am correct. It's copper, like copper for the female symbol and iron for the male symbol.
Also, I did the impossible. I put a actual limit on screen time on my phone,
Okay.
which could be a sign of that it could be like a sign of weakness. However, I see it as more of a necessary evil because, well, YouTube is denying that they're really addictive. Even though if you put on YouTube Shorts, if you put a limit on that for like 15 minutes, which is the minimum, or the minimum you can put,
You know,
you could still go around that, which is the worst bit. You can just on your phone you could just swipe up, and it will get rid of the message. You could watch your short, and once you swipe down, it will give it again, meaning you could swipe up again.
this can lead into our first bit of news, actually. I don't know if you've heard, but somebody, I think in America, successfully sued Meta, from Facebook, and Google by blaming them for her, like, social media addiction. And the judge declared that indeed the algorithms were made to be addictive.
Yeah, they're made so you keep, staying
And
on
so
the platform.
now this woman, and then now Meta and Google have to pay her like a couple $1 million, I think, if I remember correctly.
I mean, that's pocket change for them.
Well, yeah, but it's not for her. And
Yeah,
to be fair, it does have larger consequences because if they don't change anything now, then someone else will do the same thing.
they're gonna have continuous lawsuits about. Wait, what if
Yeah.
everybody just sues them?
Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty good idea.
Like, if everybody just continuously keeps suing those big platforms for, making an addictive
I'd like to have
algorithm.
like a couple $1 million. It might just barely be enough for a house.
Yes, and it might annoy them just enough so they change it. I mean, we are posting this on YouTube, so
I don't care.
hey, we barely get any
Google,
views,
we're
so
coming for you.
the algorithm is bullshit anyway. The algorithm is only bullshit if it works against you. Just like a lot of life's problems. It is only a bad thing if it actively works against you. It's bad that that's what most people, a lot of people view problems. Like, oh, it's not a problem unless it affects me. Then it's a problem. Like these ridiculously high fuel prices that we have here. It's like $2.25. And that's the cheapest. I could check what I could get at next to the highway, which is expensive. Like the cheapest in my city is 2.25.9, so technically €2.26. If you're next to the highway and you have to exit, you have to fill up €2 and 60.9 cents. So you're paying $2.60 because you're next to a highway. That's ridiculous. So yeah. That is the first thing that I'm actively really pissed about. Just the ridiculous high fuel prices, because they do really eat into the money that comes in. Like the amount of money I get per kilometer remained the same. Yet fuel prices have gone up, like over the last 4 months, like since last year. They've gone up 40 cents at the cheapest pumps. What am I supposed to do with that? So I pay 40 cents per liter more, yet I don't get any more money. Which means my buying power got lower. And nobody likes that. I'm also actually just waiting till there's somewhat of like a revolution in the United States.
I mean, that
Considering all the No Kings protests that have gone around.
I don't want it to happen. But I can't say that it would surprise me.
Well, it would indeed not be very good for the entire economy. But in the long term, it will probably be better.
That completely depends.
Sure. But have you seen the claims that Trump has made over the last couple of days? Basically over Easter.
Yeah, I think I've seen some of it. You mean on Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen that.
You know that the day that we're recording this would be like Energy Day, and it was basically just destroy all the infrastructure.
Wait, was today the end of the 10 days?
I think so.
Huh.
So...
Oh, I haven't heard any news of him actually doing it yet, so...
Well, the thing is, right, if it's an empty threat, then he's basically doing the same thing that Putin is doing.
He's made multiple empty threats, though.
Yeah, but this is his biggest one yet.
True, yeah.
And if he doesn't follow,
If he did go through it, it'd be a war crime, by the way.
yes. Well, the problem is he gonna is there anything that's going to be done against him? No.
If he does business in a different country, then yes.
Yeah, but he won't do business with it in a different country then.
Oh, no, well, maybe. He is part of NATO, though, so he would kind of have to.
Well, that is if he leaves the US.
Yes.
If not, he's just gonna try and do it
Thing
with.
is, thing is, if he okay, so either he does it, a warrant for his arrest is gonna come out from The Hague, and
Yeah.
he goes to France, Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands.
Basically
He'll get
anywhere
arrested.
within NATO.
Or he never leaves the US again. At least not to any countries that are actually like important to him right now.
Yeah.
Sits out his president stuff. Loses he can't there can't be other elections for him.
Oh,
The next president arrests him.
and Jim,
Yes.
you don't think he will try and go for a third term, which he legally isn't allowed to do?
He can't because his own party doesn't like him anymore either, so there's no way he's gonna get a third term through.
I guess. I still wouldn't be so sure about. He's definitely gonna try. Like, you can't deny that. He will definitely try to do it. The question is if he will succeed. Because you can always do the tactic of, well, you're my friends. If you vote for me again, I will give you powerful positions. He's gonna basically go on the same path that Stalin did. Basically, get into a powerful position where you can basically just give your friends all the power. Make sure that all your buddies get into good positions so they vote for you, so you get more power. So you can give them a little bit more power. If he actually does that, and he gets a third term, then the US public wouldn't allow that.
No, I think it's very unlikely because most of the people realize that he's kind of been destroying the economy.
Kinda?
Yeah, kinda.
Just kinda?
Yeah, just a little.
He is the entire reason we have to almost sell a kidney to refuel once.
Well, unfortunately, Jules, we don't get to vote there.
No, that is the sad
Unless you
part.
take a fucking citizenship test.
Even then, because you would be an immigrant.
You can vote if you have citizenship. You can vote there.
Yeah, but you will still be an immigrant. Although this may sound racist, but we wouldn't have too much trouble.
Oh yeah, considering I speak Dutch with an American accent.
That, and considering
Even though I'm born and raised here.
and considering that we're both white.
Yes. Yeah, as represented by both our characters.
Well, your character.
Well, we don't know what's under the shadows of that bush.
Well, with your character, we know. With my character,
For all we know, I'm talking to Slender Man right now.
You've seen me in real life.
Yeah, it's not that far off.
Yeah,
All you're missing is the suit and the tentacles.
just
Does Slenderman have tentacles? I think he does.
yeah.
I actually don't. I don't know that much about Slenderman other than what he like looks like, and how the game works. I don't know the story.
The game works. Collect pages. He becomes. Does he become angrier
Yeah.
every time you collect a page,
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah, you can become more aggressive
making it more
and
difficult
like
to.
and don't look at him.
Yeah, or else he'll make your screen a little bit
The
vague.
worst part, the worst part is I know more about fucking Slendrina than I do about Slender Man, and I've
Not
never played
Slendrina,
either of the
no.
games. I've never played either of the games.
Not Slendrina, no.
I mean, from that one Painticus video I watched on it, they actually seem pretty good.
You know what my mind just thought about with
Like a
Slendrina?
lot better than most phone games. What?
It's a female.
Yeah. You know how many creepypasta characters get like a female equivalent?
Yeah, but you know what happens with females on the internet?
So, so
We both know what happens.
recently, recently, Postra and his friends did a couple more. Like they did another stream where they would read like creepypastas, mostly shitty ones, right? That's the fun part of it. Sometimes a good one, mostly shitty ones. And someone asked them to read Jane the Killer.
What is
Now,
it? Like the female version of
now,
Jeff the Killer?
now, you have Jeff the Killer, who is for some reason really popular, even though that original story is fucking shit. It is so bad. But as a character, it does check out that he is the most popular creepypasta along with Slenderman. But like, so then you get these sort of fan stories. But this Jane the Killer story is so fucking dumb. Cause so what it is it's so yeah, it is basically it is she's just like him, but she like kills criminals and she wants to hunt Jeff the Killer. That's the thing.
That's the entire
But the
thing.
way but the way it got there is some of the stupidest shit ever. So, first up, it's so clear that the writer of it was just fucking horny for his own OC.
The amount of time that has happened is
there,
abnormal.
there was a lot of detail on what brand of clothing she wore for some reason. Um, for some reason, one of the weird things that happens is that she works in like a cafe or something, and then she like a guy orders pancakes and she is like, I can give you my own pomegranate, like I don't know exactly what it was anymore, like some kind of jam or something. And it's just like if you work in like a restaurant or a shop, you don't get to sell your own products.
No. Like
but
if the
but
government finds
but
out about that, you're getting shut down immediately.
Oh, well, speaking of the government, so what this story is about is that she gets tricked into becoming an experiment for, if I remember correctly, the government, the Ministry of Justice, the police, the CIA, the FBI,
Ah, they
just
basically were like,
any fucking any law like enforcement thing you can think of was there.
so the question is, how many times did he use the alphabet?
I don't know. To turn her into a bioweapon designed to hunt Jeff the Killer because apparently these guys can't find a fucking 14-year-old kid.
You know,
And the only part she has a problem with, she has no issue with this whole thing, even when she discovers that she's gonna be a fucking bioweapon. She doesn't really seem to care. She only starts caring when her skin turns pale and her hair turns black.
hmm. Yeah,
Then it becomes a problem.
the thing is, if you want to find if you want to find a 14-year-old quickly, all you need is Roblox. Then the kid will be found very quickly.
Yeah, but anyway, it was such a tough. It ends with so she's like transformed into that, right? She now has like super strength and whatever, and then they just let her go home. And for some
Oh,
reason, she walks all the way home naked.
yeah, the writer was definitely horny. However, what dumb government
I
would
don't
let
know.
their own bioweapon?
Yeah, it's not like she escaped. They just like did some tests on her afterward to see if she was fine, and she was literally just okay with this. And then they just let her walk out the door.
They just let their own bioweapon walk out the door.
Yes, it was so fucking dumb.
Like, no government in their right mind would actually allow that to happen. Because not only are you releasing something very dangerous out in the open that could potentially harm millions.
I want to take it a step back even before that. If you can't find a 14-year-old kid, if the fucking CIA is involved, what is this one woman gonna do, even if she has superpowers?
Also, how are they going to find the bioweapon after setting it free? You just set a very dangerous weapon free. Like,
I don't know. It's so dumb.
they really.
Somehow that's not even the worst Jeff the Killer female, by the way. There's another one.
Oh boy.
There's another one that is so bad. If you go to the Creepypasta wiki, it literally has the subtext. This is an example of how not to make your character.
Yeah, maybe people need to be thinking with a different head. That would probably be beneficial if they thought with their, because I'm assuming it's mainly men that are writing these stories. Although we cannot
Actually no. I'm pretty sure. So the really terrible one, I think, is called Nina the Killer. I think that was actually made by a girl for role playing, so that if someone role played Jeff the Killer, then she could be his girlfriend.
I was about to say we cannot exclude female literature. You know what I'm talking about here.
Maybe I do. Oh wait, no, fuck you. No. Can we move on?
Yeah, men are not the only horny ones in this world. Women are just better at hiding it.
Are they? Because that shit's just open in bookstores.
You think men go to bookstores?
I sometimes do, yeah.
Yeah, but how often do you specifically go and look for those books?
Oh, yeah, no, never.
Exactly. You don't go looking for it.
I mean,
So you won't find it.
I have a lot of books here that I still need to read.
I have some books as well I need to read.
Oh, right, I
but
forgot I have that Dan Brown. I also have a Dan Brown book I've yet to read. I really forgot I have that. Shit.
Heh.
I need to get to read.
Yeah. Seriously, they're not.
Oh, also, another thing. This Wednesday is gonna be another upload.
Did you forget it again?
No. It's the same. It's that one.
Oh yeah.
But I also realized that when I went through that, I was like, let's also just just to be sure, I was like, I'll check out the playlist as well
Oh yeah,
to
there
see
are
if there
probably
are any in there.
a lot of them who
Yeah,
didn't get.
no, about 30 videos were not in there. And so I went through the whole like all the videos. Luckily I could just go through that playlist and check out like which episodes were missing because we numbered them all.
Yeah.
Then I realized somewhere in the 30s we forgot to update the number, so there was a duplicate.
No.
So I had to go through about over 30 video descriptions to
Thank you.
update the episode numbers.
Thank you. The fact that you did it makes me very happy because that means that I don't have to do it.
Yeah, I spent like half an hour on that shit.
Yeah.
But the numbering is correct now. There are currently 68 episodes uploaded.
Wait.
And there are 68 episodes in the thing. Well, 68 if you include the one that's gonna come out tomorrow.
So this is
Yes.
this is episode 69. Yay! Nice. That
So
makes
now
me happy.
that means it also lines up again with our week count.
That means that I get to make the thumbnail for this one.
Ah, fuck you.
I won't make it too bad because it still has to get uploaded to YouTube, and we know how YouTube is.
Yeah, okay, I did send you the updated thumbnail.
Yeah, as a creative file, so I can actually.
Yeah.
You know, get the edit it a little bit so it's not just. So I don't have to use Photoshop or Krita again. I don't have to put it. You know how scuffed that would be? I'd have to put a blue box over the text and then put my text over it with the same font. And it'll probably still look like garbage. Yeah, I did order new wheel hubs because... Was it wheel hubs? Or hubcaps, I mean. Because I bought a set, and in 2 days after installing them, I lost one. And that's really annoying. Luckily, they're pretty cheap. They're like $30 per set of 4. Meaning I just bought another set of 4 of the same, because I am smart. And now I basically have... Or at least once they're actually at my place, I have 3 spares in case I either damage one by rubbing it on a curb, or I lose one again. I can just slap another one on. It's fine. But yeah, not having a hubcap is just sad. It looks bad. Especially considering I run on, like, you know, the standard steel wheels with the holes. So, because they're not in pristine condition, they're a tad bit, you know, like surface rust. It just looks bad. And I want to have some, you know, I want to be proud of what I drive. And it's a little bit more difficult if your car looks like crap. And also, shipping over during Easter isn't. It's just not a possibility.
Well,
Like,
apparently, even if it does get shipped, you get scammed. So.
well, that is not the fault of the delivery service. That is the fault of where
Well,
you
it's both
ordered.
sides. Yes.
But I did.
I just for some context, I got scammed literally just before this episode launched. My package arrived and it's not what it was advertised. So
Yeah, so now it's gonna leave a 1-star review and see if you can get a
send it
refund.
back. Yeah. I can definitely get a refund. We're in the Netherlands.
Yeah. I mean,
But
it is like within a couple of days, so it should be good.
I think officially it's 2 years.
Yeah, but just as quickly as possible is always nice. Some give
Yeah.
like 30
Oh,
days,
like that,
90
like that.
days.
I thought you meant like you can only get a refund if you do it in a certain window. But
Like some people,
yeah,
some say like do it within like a month and you're fine. Otherwise, you're gonna just. Otherwise, you can fall into that trap of, well, I did order it. It arrived. I used it, and now it broke because I used it for like a year.
yeah,
I want a refund.
yeah. I'm gonna check out because I'm gonna check the what do you call that? I'll file the refund slash return thing after we're done here.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna look for the real version because I really want one. It
I'm
looks
also going.
cool as shit.
Also going to look at the news because we entirely forgot about to talk about a thing, and it's
What?
related to the moon.
Oh yeah, NASA. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
Did you see NASA's official cameras?
I did see some of the images. They do look cool.
No, 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 no. I'm talking specifically about the launch because they released a video of the launch.
They had a plane literally flying in circles around the launch site. Yes.
No, that's not what I mean. So, NASA's official video of the launch. It's about to launch, and just before before it leaves the ground, it cuts to like people that are nearby watching the launch. And then when it cuts back to the thing, it's already launched.
Oh, they pulled a Formula One. Oh,
And
that's
then
funny.
and then you know how a rocket has like the two bits that come off because they're only for the launch.
It's staged. Yes.
So those things, because those things they fall off in the sky, right, and then they like land or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's also cool to see. So the camera it like follows the rocket, and then again when it's about to do that, it cuts away to these people all looking up into the sky. And then when it cuts back, it's already done the thing.
So it's like just like, want to see me do it again?
NASA, what the fuck?
You know, why I say that they did a Formula One.
I'm sure they've done it too.
Formula One is over the last couple of years has got known to basically avoid action within their camera work. Like just when an exciting battle would happen, they would cut to the driver in first place driving in no man's land. Pretty much just like, why would you do that? That is just unnecessary. We want to see action. We don't want to see just a car driving. Like they've had multiple. The entire community has complained multiple times at this point. But hey, it's Formula One. What are they gonna do? I mean, they already have enough on their plate with these shitty regulations where all drivers are complaining. and it has become not a management thing where you have, or not a like a racing thing where you know the faster driver wins. It has become battery management. Actual battery management. That just sounds sad. Like all you do is, oh well, my battery is a higher state of charge than yours. I can overtake you now. And then like 30 seconds later, the opposite happens. Because oh no, now you have more battery than I do because I used it all to overtake you. So now you can re-overtake. And then just some back and forth. That is not what racing is about. Racing is about who's the fastest driver. Or at least who can extract most out of their car, because Formula 1 is not a spec series. It is not built to any sets, any like specification. It is built to, it is like each team has a budget and they're basically being told, design car. And the team that does it the best wins. But you also have to have the right drivers, because if you have slow drivers, then you also not win. You have to have fast drivers, fast car. But right now it's more about the car than the driver, which... why have drivers in the first place then? But the rules are going to be changed, and they could potentially be thinking about ditching the hybrid system entirely and going for turbo V8s. Which I'm all for. Because no hybrid system means it's actually raw engine power again. Just like it was in 2013 before they brought in the V6 hybrid turbo, which is still run.
It seemed funny to me that they actually had to charge a battery and then release it on like a convenient part.
Well, they already had that a little bit over the last couple of years, but Formula was like, we're going to do a 50-50 split.
Exactly.
50% battery, 50% combustion engine. The problem is, the batteries don't hold enough charge for a lap. Meaning,
exactly. They charge it while driving.
Yeah, meaning towards the end of a straight, you can just hear the engine slowly revving down because it doesn't have enough power anymore to continue.
Yeah, and then it's like Mario. Actually, it's less like Mario Kart and more like that one racing game that I used to play on the Xbox 360.
No, they actually have described it as Mario Kart. They actually have.
Mario Kart doesn't have a mechanic. Actually, it kind of has a mechanic like that. If you
The
like
mushroom.
drift, and then it gives you a little boost.
They've been comparing it to the mushroom. Because
the mushroom's not really the same though, because you don't charge up the mushroom.
Yeah, but the deployment is like a mushroom. Basically, you just get a bunch of extra power all of a sudden.
I used to have like an Xbox 360 with a racing game on it that I played a lot with my dad, and it was like I forget what it was called, but in that game, if you drifted, it would fill up this meter, and then if you did the input for it, you got like a nitro boost.
That's a lot of racing games.
So, yeah, I know, but that was the first and only racing game that I've played, you know. So.
Well, not the only one. You've played Assetto Corsa once.
Yeah, sure. But, yeah, but
once with us, and we basically lapped you.
But with that, our favorite stage was like a course that had like a really long straight area and then everything else was only curves. So you could really drift, and then on that straight part, you would just go.
You could just charge everything up and then discharge everything immediately.
Yes. I think they might have been real Grand Prix locations, by the way. I don't know that. But they were definitely real world locations.
You're just not sure if they were actually
Actually,
like...
now that I think about no, I just remember that one of them was on a fucking airplane. No, not on an airplane, but like on an airport.
Do you know
So
how many...
that might...
Do you know how many actual racing circuits are, or at least used to be airports?
Oh.
Or airfields?
Well, yeah, but this one looked, if I remember correctly, in use. Not during the race, but...
Yeah, there's currently no Grand Prix that does that. For a good reason. You're not stopping air traffic. Just so a couple of cars can race around for a bit.
I mean, I don't know when this game released, but I played it in, like, 2015.
Still no. Do you know how many prep goes into that? Into, you know, into the setup of, like, an actual race. You have to have a pit lane. You have to have marshals set to the side in case something happens. You have to, you know, barricade everything. Get all the infrastructure in there so that the people that are attending actually can do something. Like, you have to get the people there. You have to entertain the people. You have to make sure that people are safe. The infrastructure around everything for a single race is incredible. There's a reason to go Formula 1 a circus. Because you can just travel to an entirely different country within like a week. Everything that surrounds it as well goes with. That's not something you often have in sports. But yes, shall I take a look at some more news? Because we have more plane news now that we're on the topic of airports. In the Netherlands, a sports plane has crashed in a field.
I didn't know this.
And sadly, he didn't survive. And they're now thinking it was him going out on his own terms.
Was it not Gremlins?
No.
Maybe they're back from World War One.
Ah, yes, World War One, the war that happened over 100 years ago.
Yes. It's the war that introduced gremlins. And velociraptors for everyone who's played the game 1916. I've not played the game 1916.
I feel like it would be a tad bit more serious.
What?
I just feel like it would probably be a tad bit more serious.
What, a video game called 1916?
Yes.
It's a game, it's like a horror game, where you're a German soldier in the trenches, pursued by velociraptors.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But they're there. You gotta escape. You gotta find the ladder to get out of the trenches.
Wait, seriously? I have some funny news. Apparently, Kanye West
Oh no.
is not allowed into the UK.
Why?
Well, you know, he's sort of affiliated himself with a certain German leader from the 1940s.
Oh.
And when he was, you know, when they were asking for a visa to get into the country, they just denied it. Big sponsors had already pulled out. So he's just not going to do the thing. He's apparently not going to do a concert in London. Because that's what happened when you are, you know, sort of very racist. That's just what happens. Hmm. What else do we have? You know how King's Day is in about a couple of weeks?
Oh yeah.
At the end of this month?
Yeah.
Well, apparently the first person has already marked their spot.
Yeah.
To make
People who
sure.
don't know what we're talking about. On King's Day, there's usually like market. Well, I can't call it a marketplace. That's being too generous.
Well, it's
But
just.
you can. It's just
Peop-
as John Feely described, actually. It's the day where Dutch people go into their homes and collect shit, take it out of their homes, display it, and sell their shit.
yes, so then other people can buy our shit. So now it's their shit. So in a couple of years, they're gonna do the exact same.
Exactly.
But you
So
can
people
sometimes
mark
get.
spots where they're gonna sell their shit.
Yeah, to put down a tarp and just put their shit on. But the funny thing about this is. Like, you can sometimes get a real good deal out of it.
Yeah.
But you should. At that point, you should usually go towards the afternoon. Because then a lot of people are like, they've been sitting since like 7 a.m. They're a bit tired. You know, they're willing to let go of stuff more easily just so they don't have to bring it back home. You get that category. And that's when you get the deals. Or if you need any like older technology. Then it's also a really good place to look for. But yeah, the first spot has already been marked. There's been a lot of news. For example, in France, a high-speed train collided with a military convoy. And as is predictable, the train driver didn't survive. It's a high-speed train. Let's say it goes around like 200 to 250 kilometers per hour. You collide with basically a stationary vehicle. It does not move in the same direction. Yeah, it is, especially if it's like a full-on truck. Yeah, that's just. Oh wow, that train looks. Yeah, the train does not look in the best of conditions. Yeah. That's why you don't mess around high-speed rail. Trains are bloody dangerous. Don't get too close to them. If you're not sure if a train is approaching, especially with a crossing, approach slowly. And gently, just always treat train tracks as if a train is actually approaching. It will make everything a whole lot better for everybody's safety. Because not only will you be prepared if a train is actually there, which, you know, it happens, especially around tracks.
Well, usually around tracks.
Yes, it would be kind of. It would
They
be.
always are on tracks.
It would be an incredible feat if you managed to somehow get hit by a train that's not on tracks. That's just like stationary on this, like just. Yeah, I guess after being transported on the road, it could actually be a thing. But still, be careful around train tracks, please. What else do we have? About the moon thing still, which the mission's called Artemis 2.
Yes.
It has reached a new record in bringing people the furthest away from Earth.
Oh. I didn't know that.
And these entire missions, like if this mission is a success, which it seems like it will be, unless something were to happen, is sort of like one is just to test Artemis 1 was just, testing everything. Artemis 2, which is currently running, is to test another capsule with people in it. Then Artemis 3 will be actually connected with a capsule to land on the moon. And then 4 and 5, well, 4 would be Artemis 4. It's actually the first new moon landing for people. And 5 will be another one of those, and it will basically be a kickoff of a couple of missions getting people, on the moon. So, we're getting back to the moon. And also, this will definitely shut a lot of people up about a fake moon landing.
All this is also staged, too.
Well, technically, it is. The rocket is in stages. As we talked about earlier with the booster separating. That is a stage. So the moon landing is indeed staged. Yeah, with the amount of dad jokes I made, you'd be surprised that I'm not a dad yet.
Actually, no, I think that only makes that
probably with a sense of humor. Yeah, you wouldn't attract anyone. You have a point there. Like, I'm not attracting anyone with these jokes.
No.
Until I find someone who is attracted to that, and then it's gonna be very much downhill from there. Trust me. It will all be downhill from there. Or uphill, depending on. It is entirely dependent on the person. Yeah. What else do we have? Apparently people were finding weapons during the hunt for eggs.
Yes, I did hear about this. And they also fired it because they thought it wasn't real.
Yeah, they found a... like, how do I translate this? Like a gas pistol?
Yeah.
It didn't have a cartridge in it, so it couldn't fire anything, but it still made a loud bang.
from what I heard, it did fire something into the floor.
Yeah, you fired it at the floor, but you know it wasn't like it's still, you know, it's still dangerous, but it wasn't like a real actual
It's
firearm.
called an air rifle or BB gun.
Yeah, so basically, once it fires, depending on the style, of course, once it has fired one, it can't fire anymore. It's all dependent on the style, of course. Some are styled in such a way that you can basically load a magazine into it. But I'm not sure what type it was because they're not showing pictures. And also, how do you find it during the hunt for eggs? For Easter eggs? That's weird. But you know, who am I to judge what people hide in their garden? What else do we have? Oh? Oh, that's an interesting one. Everyone's to load. Apparently a cruise ship got stuck on near the island that was used to film Castaway. Which the one was played by the main role was played by Tom Hanks. Was it the one with was it Wilson? The ball with a face on it?
I don't know.
Might just be misremembering the name or something, but
I don't know.
nobody got hurt. Like, how do you get stuck on an island? Is my main question. Like, boats these days have advanced radar systems that can detect that type of stuff and deal with it accordingly. I mean, you might know of another ship that beached itself, sort of, the Costa Concordia, back like 14 years ago. At this point, we're getting old. Which also was a quite famous disaster due to. Well, this was more because the captain abandoned ship before anyone else. Well, you know, the captain is supposed to be the last off the ship, right? Well, he wasn't. Yeah. He just went with the rest of the rest of the passengers. He sort of disguised himself in between and just, you know, left the ship, leaving the crew to deal with everything. Which they should be trained to do that. Like, a good crew should be trained on, you know, what to do in emergencies. And I think if you're going on a cruise ship, you do have a mandatory muster drill where you basically are taught this is where everything is. This is where you need to go in case of an emergency. So basically, this where to go and what to do, which mainly consists of, from what I understand, which lifeboat to go to, because that's also very important to know, because if everybody goes to one specific one, that's going to cause casualties. So you have to know which one you have to go to and to put on a life vest. And listen to the instructions. And maybe the, like, you may get a layout of the ship So you at least know that this is, of course, emergency exits are always like lit up, so you know where they are and how to get to them. Usually they have a line below, a little reflective or even lit bar in case there's heavy smoke, which means you have to go low because smoke goes up. So if you go low, that's where the oxygen is that your body requires to function. So that means you may have less visibility, which is why a reflective or light emitting bar will help you not get fully lost and give you a higher chance of getting out on your own. Because what would be worse than being stuck on a burning ship, not being able to go outside? There's a reason people don't joke about ship safety anymore. Why is it that with planes there are ridiculous safety protocols? With boats there are also pretty large amount of safety protocols. But as soon as we get to cars, we just drop it. Who thought of that? I mean, cars here in the Netherlands, if your car is older than 50 years, it doesn't need a yearly checkup anymore. You don't need a yearly inspection. You can just, they're like, well, the car is old anyway. And we're assuming if you drive a car that's over 50 years old, you're a car enthusiast, which means you will take care of it. Because you care about your car. But that just means that I can let my car slowly like fall apart until a critical thing fails instead of non-critical things. You don't have to fix things, because the weird thing is, right, even if it's an optional feature, once it's on the car, and then it's required to work. If it's non-functional, then it's a problem. But if it wasn't there in the first place, then it's not a problem. Which is weird to me. What else do we have? Oh yeah, of course, yeah. The Pope doing his yearly speech.
Yeah, he didn't thank us for the flowers.
Well, he didn't do it during his speech, but he did contact the person, the company delivering the flowers, and thanked him personally instead of.
We don't care. Other popes literally learned a Dutch sentence to thank us for the flowers.
Yes,
The
this one
previous
just.
didn't. He did it in Italian, but he still did. This one just didn't. I lost all respect for Leo.
Only because he didn't thank us for flowers? Because did you contribute to giving flowers to the Pope?
Technically, I did.
How?
Because money in an economy goes round and round.
Yeah, so you'd have to follow a long line of purchases,
Exactly.
hoping that it at some point relates to the flowers that we're giving to the Pope.
That's not hoping, that's just how it works.
Yeah, but the line might be so long that by the time you figure it out, you can start over again because another year has happened.
Yeah, he better thank us then. I
Or
don't
you,
know much about what this Pope has really done so far. I know that there's people that don't like it, but I don't know
that'll
what
always
exactly
be a
he
thing.
said. Well, yeah, but as in, the people that are like that actually follow the Pope.
Uh, because you always
Like,
have people that will be against the Pope.
yeah,
You
but
always,
I'm talking specifically about the people that are not necessarily against the Pope.
yeah, but once again, you always have that.
Yeah, but I don't know what he actually said. I think he had some like he expressed some political opinions, which as a Pope probably you shouldn't do. But you know, like some people didn't like that. But he didn't thank us for the flowers. That is his biggest crime.
Let's see, what else do we have? Just a bunch of war things and a train that hit a tree.
Wait, what the fuck?
Yes, a train that hit
How?
a tree.
Did, did it try to take a shortcut?
A tree, for unknown reasons,
Did,
was
did
on the
the tree
track.
not look? Did the tree not look left and right?
Well, they don't know. For unknown, the train was on tracks for unknown reasons. Or the tree. That's a train. Anyway, also one of the IKEAs here in the Netherlands was closed during Easter because of internet issues. Even though the weather was incredibly nice. I have to say, like, when I woke up on Monday, because we were off, because you've heard about first like one day of Easter, but what about the second day? And this is, well, the mom basically was like, "Yo, we're planning to go to the beach," and asked if I wanted to come with, and I was like, "Sure." So of course we went by car because I'm the only one that drives, pretty much, because I'm the only one with a license. Because I saw it as somewhat necessary, especially if I wanted to drive an older car. As I was really happy when I learned the fact that I was allowed to drive a manual. Which, as you know, Jim, has led to some questionable shifts. Remember that corner where I was steering left and shifting with my left hand?
Yes.
Slightly questionable. Yet weirdly smooth.
Yeah. Maybe you should buy a British car.
Well, the thing is, that's buying a car, and once I actually get a contract from the company, and I'm not part of a like recruitment agency, then what might happen is the fact that I get a company car, which means it could potentially be cheaper to get rid of the Twingo, which In case you need a Twingo, you need a car, I'm willing to sell it to you. Or at least if I have to sell it, I'd rather have to go to someone.
I don't want the Twingo.
Why not? It is cheap to run.
Because it's loud.
You could put some sound deadening in, don't worry about it.
Loud and it's cold.
The cold is easily solved with like 5 minutes of running.
True, but still.
Like the AC, once you put it fully hot, gets cooking.
Yeah, no, it's making it loud.
Yeah, that's what you get when you get a car that's almost 20 years old.
And also, it's dumb. Why is the speedometer in the middle?
It's
For
not
the people at home. For the people, not in the middle of like in front of you at the steering wheel. No. In the middle of the car.
because that is actually a cheaper way.
You and the passenger seat.
That is a cheaper way to produce a car, especially if you want to do it internationally. Or, yeah, because you know some countries drive on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
So then you don't have to get two different dashboards. You can just get one dashboard for everything. But like, it's not bad. It just takes some getting used to. But once you're used to it, it's just second nature. Also, I do like the lack of information that you get. Because, you know, usually a lot of cars give like a bunch of information. You know, you get your speed, you get your revs, you get... Well, fuel is quite necessary, actually. But like, you get a bunch of those things. Well, my car only gives me speed and fuel on a dial. The rest is all like lights. Like speed, fuel, and I can switch between the time, the current trip, and the total amount of kilometers driven. That's what I can choose between. Those are my options for information. And that's pretty much all you need. You can drive by air, which is something that I think it's less and less of a thing these days. Mainly because not a lot of cars these days have electric cars exist, and hybrids are pretty much always an automatic with how they operate. As soon as anything electrical is added to the drivetrain of a car, it basically automatically becomes an automatic, because it's just easier to produce, easier to run. More efficient, because why would you buy a manual electric car?
Because it feels more natural.
So yeah, probably gonna be, unless I have to go for a cheap option. If I can, and this requires a bunch of extra logistics as well, I might be tempted into buying into, at least if I have to get a loaner car or a company car. If I could, I might go for the new Twingo. So we go from first generation to fourth generation, which is fully electric, a lot quieter,
and looks really fucking weird.
but still has. Of course, it isn't the same as the first generation. It doesn't have the froggy look, but it still has some resemblance of that. It has not been entirely changed into. Or
Why don't you
if
get a fucking Fiat Multipla while you're at it?
worst part is, you know, I would actually buy one, right?
Why? That's like the ugliest car ever made.
Ugly yet spacious.
Well, yeah. Like, look, I don't care too much what my car would look like. But there is a point.
There is a point where you're like, yes, that's the right amount of ugly.
No, there's a point where I'm like, nah.
Well, the thing is with the multipla, right? I think it has like 3 seats in the. Does it have 3 seats in the front? I think it does. So then we can all sit in the front. It is the perfect car for you and your homies. Just, especially if there's 3 of you, you can fit all 3 in the front on the front row, and then still have space for the rest. I'm not gonna buy a PT Cruiser though, because that car is actually really ugly, and I don't have camo protection. Awesome. But if I have to get a slightly like bigger car that is electric with slightly more range, I might go. I wouldn't mind going for a new Renault 5. What I won't buy though is a Kia, because those kind of suck. I know, Jim, your mom has one, and I've driven it, and that's why I'm saying it. They are just
There's far worse cars out there.
like.
Driven any other cars, but I'm sure there's way worse.
You've driven in my Twingo.
Yeah, I have, and I have driven in a couple. I had multiple cars for like the lessons.
So you have driven multiple cars.
Yes, but you know, at some point.
Yeah, not recently.
I mean, I don't drive much anyway, because like, I have a bicycle.
Yeah, you can bike to work. If I bike to work, it's gonna be over an hour of travel. And I ain't gonna do that. It's gonna be over an hour of just traveling to work. Then I have to still travel an hour from work. So let's say I leave at 7, I arrive at 8, that means I get to leave at like 4:30. And then I still have to actually travel for like an hour, meaning I'm going to be home very, very, very late. Something I'm not willing to do. If I go by car, it's twice just half an hour. That's like the standard of travel time. Just half an hour to half an hour from work. And I wouldn't want to have it any other way because that would just suck. Yeah, having a newer car might be nice to have, considering I would be out of. Like, I love my Twingo, but there are more comfortable cars indeed. And I will not deny that. I can drive a more comfortable car quite easily. Also, in theory, I could ask my dad to drive his car, but I'd rather not, considering if that breaks down, costs will be immense. And I'm not wanting to look at a repair bill for a Range Rover. Although you guys will probably enjoy it a lot more if I were to drive. You know, if we were to drive to the other side of the country in that. You know, actual luxury. As I said before, the repair bill, like one of those tires is like 1,000, like $800 for a single tire. I get like 4 tires for that, and get them put on at a garage, and still be cheaper than one tire.
Did you see that little goat that they give tires?
The little.
There was like a little goat, but he was like, I don't know exactly what's up with him, but his legs were not strong enough or something. So they gave him like wheels. Like he has like a. It's kind of like a wheelchair, but for goats, I guess.
Yeah, they also have those for dogs.
Yeah.
Where they give like dogs a wheelchair. There's 2 wheels at the back. And the best part is those animals often don't care. They will happily break your ankles by just running behind you. They don't care.
Yeah, I have sheep. Tell me about
it. will the sheep just knock you down if you're not careful enough?
Yes. Especially like one of them, where we figured out the solution.
What?
They're like cats. You take like a water sprayer.
You
And
spray.
If they get too close, you just spray it in their face, and they don't like it, and they have very quickly stopped.
So you just took to spraying your sheep with water.
Yeah, it worked.
That is
also it is that season where they get a little worked up. They get a
little excited.
Yeah. But we only have men, so they just have to do it with that.
So
and they certainly try.
So you technically have gay sheep now.
Kinda.
Well, how progressive.
I'm sure if we put a female in there, you know,
you would have lambs within a year.
Yeah, actually, no, within a couple months. Like they do not.
Yeah, that's still within a year.
Yes, but more like within, I think, 5 months.
And then boom, more sheep.
Yeah.
Think of all the Christmas.
We did consider it. We did consider instead like taking like a male and a female. But sheep are kind of a problem in that, because if you do that with cats, which already I would not completely recommend because they have a lot of kids, but with cats or dogs, you can like give them away. With sheep, you can't because they have to be registered.
So you first have to get them registered, then sell them.
Yeah. So we decided not to do that because it's just a hassle because you need to register them, and then if they change ownership, you have to register that too, and it's just a whole thing. The website that you do that on is really dumb. Like it's a government website, but for some reason every government website works completely differently, and the login button cannot just be at the top right like on every other website. It is somewhere hidden in menus.
Hmm. Yeah, that sounds like a government website to me.
Yeah.
Like, I still at some point want to cuddle the sheep. But I don't think now is the right time. I don't want to be touched inappropriately by the sheep or have the sheep try. I've already at some point had it with a dog. That apparently first tried to jump on me a couple of times. And after pushing it off a couple of times, did it a third time and started going nuts. It's still funny. It was a funny experience, don't get me wrong. Like the owners were apologetic, they let their dog loose on a beach, basically. But I thought like, it is somewhat funny. I was with friends, so at that point you don't really have any say in it. Like it is just you have to see it as funny, otherwise, yeah, otherwise you will not hear the end of it. Otherwise, you're with friends. That means that bullshit is totally just funny. And it's weird that that's especially with in male friend groups that's just sort of the rule. Like, let's say somebody falls. The first thing you do is ask if they're okay, because that matters. But once they've indicated that they are okay and there aren't any major injuries, then it becomes time to just burst out laughing because then it's the funniest shit ever. But to reiterate, they do first have to show that there isn't any major bodily harm. If it is actually serious, then your first order of business should be either get them to safety to a hospital or to anywhere where they aren't in immediate danger anymore. Yeah. Do we have anything more?
No, I don't think so. No.
Well, then that does leave us with one thing to say. We're not experts.
But we were here.